Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. We are trying firefighting again. I'm once more on the TWL server, and this time around we are doing it the better way. Yes, we are not driving the fire truck, we are hauling it, because screw that thing. And we are not going back into Guangjin. I logged back in and it seems like the fire trucks are gone. So I don't have any intention of repeating that, whatever that was, and therefore we are just going for the other one. So the second fire is somewhere down south from Ara, and it has actually grown quite a bit, so it should be a decent payout now. Since everybody else got stuck in Guangjin trying to reach that location. But yeah, let's get to a fire truck, pick it up, and then confirm the location of the fire. If that isn't even marked on the map to begin with. There it is. Nobody else around us, so we just have to get in here, yoink a fire truck, and then we can be on our way. But yeah, screw driving that thing. I didn't really set out the last episode to make a video showcasing just how bad and useless the Brutus really is. I thought it would be alright just getting to a location and going from there. But yeah, I think that footage kind of speaks for itself. I mean, in the end, it was also a really extreme location to get to, but honestly, it should have been a bit better off-road and on-road and overall. That really showed why it needs a winch and a better engine, lower center of mass, and potentially also Jesus. But yeah, we're going to this location now. Can already accept it. I don't think that makes much of a difference if I'm getting there. But yeah. Let's just load it up and take it from there. Just like this, perfect fit. It's gonna need to wait for the server to catch back up. Might potentially have to do something about the footage. I think it showed some internet connection data that I'm not really happy showing with you guys in the last episode, so I don't really want to share all of that. But yeah, we'll see. And I don't know why the server was down all of a sudden. Keep in mind that this is still all beta testing. TWL is just one of the servers that does the beta stuff. Doesn't seem like we got another update since then, so that didn't seem to be the issue. But here we go now. As the sun slowly rises. And yeah, I've slightly redone my livery for the truck. And I just wanted to make the emergency writing a bit more prominent, a bit larger and all of that. And also went for a different color for the cap. I think the contrast looks really nice now. I've had it in red before. Looks okay on its own. But I just had no idea how to make something interesting with the livery as a whole. Also, in case we need it, this thing actually has a winch. So, yeah. We are set up pretty well here. I think the only thing I might be missing here... Oh no, I got one box over there, so we might even have some extinguishers, although I wouldn't really use them on a large fire. It's more for like the car fires if we encounter one. But yeah, the driving here is so much better now. I mean, of course it is. The Lomax rollback is an absolute beast. So that's just gonna get us there in no time. I think we are about at the point where we should probably get off the road. Maybe pass the hill over here. Careful. Yeah, maybe we should actually use the Brutus. At least we can't damage it too much. Or damage to that vehicle won't do too much because it's already quite ruined. Just by existing. Can't get much worse from there. I don't know if I should just leave the truck like this, but I'm gonna do that now. Okay, it's finally showtime. Could have made it so much easier on myself if I just began the last episode like this. It's gonna be dodging a few rocks here because they would definitely require me to set back to the road. Also, I didn't put on any firefighting costume, so I might be a bit vulnerable here, but it should be alright. First responder. I still wish we had the option to just turn off these notifications. Don't have any pop-up, put it in the chat and then give us a link to open that in a separate window if we want to, but not just while in the action. But yeah, this is the new fire hose. The extinguisher works pretty much the same, except of course you don't have any hose connected to it and it will run out after a while. But yeah, this is much more natural than just using the fire cannon or the water cannon on top of the truck. There is a length limit to the hose, which we'll run into in a moment. But I think this is really nice as it is. Just being able to control the whole thing by panning the camera instead of having to do an awkward button combination. And now I'm getting too far and it won't let me get any further from here. Then maybe I can secure perimeter around the center so that we can just drive the truck in the middle of it. Okay, this is definitely working. We can also try fight back the other flank over here. Should have a bit of reach in that direction. Yeah, honestly, right now I prefer this over the water cannon. I think maybe the water cannon needs to cover a bit more of an area in order to keep up. And of course, if they at some point redo the controls a bit, that would also be nice. That could really help with a lot of things. I would love to just control the water cannon and some of the crane stuff on the rotator, the boom on the Brutus Wrecker, etc. just using the right stick. And maybe some other things that I could custom assign for that. In some cases you could maybe also use the left stick. Oh no, it should be on the left stick really, because right stick is the camera for most of these menus. But left stick, since you are stuck to a vehicle, can't do anything, so it might as well be used for actual controlling. Okay, so much about that. The one thing I think we should maybe change is having the people required to put back the hose. With controllers and all of that, you can just basically drop them and they are going to automatically go back to the winch, etc. But for this, I think it would be appropriate. Okay, I'm somehow getting slight fire damage. There might be some stuff underground here. Keep an eye out for that. Don't want to cook myself here. But yeah, this is now much more what I had in mind for the last episode. But hey, sometimes these weird little adventures can also be fun. Certainly something else. But yeah, this is also more the average firefighting experience in single player. Could of course also team up with somebody to drive the truck, maybe even a third person for a water cannon, or the driver takes the water cannon at some point, who knows, there are multiple options. But for a solo player, I think going for the hose is the better option here. Bit more flexible. Trying to put out that little fringe there. Could also try just running around here. I don't know what's the fastest way to deal with a large area like this. But it's certainly being pushed back a little bit here and there. And yeah, I can't run too fast because otherwise we are moving the arm too much and the water goes anywhere but not where we are aiming. But as long as you are walking slow, you can get a decent amount of control. Get some of that out, ideally all of it. And everything else, careful, careful. Either there was some water underground or I was just getting way too close. I mean, yeah, some flames underground started cooking me. But yeah, overall, fantastic update to the fire mechanics. I think maybe burnt ground would be nice to have if that's possible. Just paint it black in the location where it has been burning for a while, and after some time remove it again slowly. But even as it is right now, really nice. We mainly really just need a better firefighting vehicle. That might be an issue for a long time. But yeah, every now and again this is a fun activity to do, so maybe I shouldn't just deactivate fire all the time in my single player world. Okay, I hope I can get all of that. Then we might soon have to bring the fire truck a bit closer. To get the last bit of it. Another fire has been spotted. Let's see if I do a second one. I think at this point you get the gist of it, and I don't know if it's worth going for another one. It's kind of a lengthy thing. I'm already running out of stuff to talk about. I also watched Motortown Hub's video on the whole update today. Over 30 minutes long. It's it's a massive update, and yeah, therefore the runtime is definitely not too unexpected. But considering how concise those videos are, that really shows just how much there is in here. I don't want to know how much work it was putting all of that together. But yeah, reminded me that there are some smaller mechanics in this game as well now that have been added with a new update. There's so much stuff in here, and it all got added to the CT versions over time, that by the time the last things came out, the first ones already got forgotten again. So let's see, is there anything else on the other side here? Nope. We could open up the back, but that's only for the water pump. But yeah, there are actually a lot of nice items hidden under those side covers. Can't really access most of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see about all the other little things in the game. The things that I wanna still explore a little bit, the things that I might just leave by the wayside. I talked about the import-export stuff before, and I know that some people really like it, and that's kinda cool, but I'm one of those people who thinks that it's just not really a necessary mechanic for the game, so I might just not do much more with it. I talked a bit about it in a past video, and that might be the overall extent to which I cover that. I think I'll get into some of the oversized deliveries after all, just showing them off. Maybe I'll also do an escort here and there. But outside of that, yeah, might just cover some of the other stuff. It's definitely not gonna be to any extent like with the copper mine supplies and all of that. That kind of got a bit larger than I expected initially. I thought it might just be 1 or 2 videos. Might be lengthy videos, but okay. But here I am. Don't know if it's like 4 or 5. I'll definitely be splicing this one into that. Maybe towards the end, and only getting to the final delivery from the concentrator afterwards. I feel like all of that stuff needs to be broken up a little bit. Some might really enjoy it and they are getting all those episodes, but for those who don't really care too much about it, there should be at least something else in between. That's kind of a whole thing, the same topic as with the overall updates. Like, I get that a lot of people like the tracking stuff, and that's been expanded extensively, but there should be more in between that for the other people. I'm definitely not a hater when it comes to all the tracking stuff. I like quite a bit of it, but I don't like it as my main activity. So I will do some of it every now and again, but for me it's more about the variety, and especially when it comes to racing, that has been lacking focus. The track strip was nice, but we need more cars overall, and I'm more into regular racing, so some regular racing tracks would be nice. Oh, that was a payment. Just as I was about to turn off the fire hose. Or water hose, whatever. Okay, one extinguished fire. Just like that. I don't need that pop-up all the time. Yeah, that one is still raging. I don't care about it. I don't care about that other one either. That one is getting extinguished, it seems. Sorry. But yeah, time to get back to my rollback and deliver this thing back to civilization. But yeah, this shop definitely needs more vehicle options. Brutus needs a tune. And even then we should get more things to work with. The truck looks nice overall. I kinda wish we could own it and maybe there was a version without the front the cage around the front. I would like the front cage to be an option for all the Brutus trucks, so that we can just equip it where we want. I would actually really like it on my ambulance. But yeah, for this truck, I don't feel it. Which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's just me. And oops, kind of went the wrong direction. Shit. Should have stayed in the valley from the get-go. Okay, let's closing up all the gates. That's where the controls are. If I had more light options on this thing, I would likely light up the controls. Huh? Okay, it is tilt up and down on the front. I just got majorly confused when trying to hit that button. Okay, let's just pack it up and bring it back to something where I can despawn it. That doesn't look too good. Okay, can I make it out of here? I think I'm completely stuck. Doesn't go back or forth. I've gotta basically beach on the road. So it's so much about getting that vehicle out of there. We have to load it up again. My bad. Should have maybe just parked it on the side of the road to begin with instead of trying to go into the dirt. But I wanted to keep the road clear. And potentially bring the truck even closer before unloading. I mean, there is a world where you maybe don't even unload it to begin with. Now I'm stuck on the same stupid rock with this one. Dang it. I also don't understand how I'm making any profit here because I'm not really having any company vehicle out. Okay, now we got it. I should have maybe turned on the extra lights on the rollback. I also gotta say I'm sometimes getting maybe a bit impatient when it comes to these kind of things on video. I'm a bit more relaxed when it's just me playing but not recording, but on record I know other people are watching and I want to make it more interesting, and therefore some of these minor delays because something just isn't working, it gets on my nerves a bit. For videos sometimes I want the stuff to be just a bit smoother, work without issues, but doesn't always go like that. $52 people on right now. Back down to 12 FPS, but yeah. Should be alright with 12. And to be clear, that's down to server FPS. The player FPS is the first number on top. Careful. I've done these routes a few times, been driving up and down this road, but this last part before you get back into Ara is it's a bit tricky. Gotta be careful here. I've also been begging for more checkpoints recently. I got myself a full route going around OG, and 50 checkpoints is just nowhere near enough for that. Like, we need 300 or something, that would be nice. Maybe 500, that would be future-proof, allowing us for really long routes for the next while. I mean, I had this whole event done a while ago where we start in Ara with the new trophy taxi, then go up to Jeju Island, up to Jeju City, then back around the west coast and over to Baiyang, and further down from there down to Sanho and back up to back around to the Terra Factory and all of that. The last one got reworked to also include the new road now and go back to the starting point in Ara. And it would have been so easy to make a full single track out of that, like full lap. But in the end, I had to cut so many checkpoints to make that work. It's not amazing. I think it's working out, but it's bloody hell. Need to get into the driver's seat here. Didn't even notice that. There may have been something going on a bit about what I'm doing here. Something was a bit off about all of that, but that's what you get when you're playing in darkness. But yeah, that's the episode. It's been a worthwhile attempt, but I'm also kind of glad that this is now done and dusted. Yeah, the new stuff is kind of nice. We also got the fire extinguisher, of course, which I think I should have some in here. So yeah, they don't stack, so can't really use too many of them. And they are basically like handheld fire hoses. And they're being held really weirdly right now. We're still gonna change all of that, but doesn't seem too high priority. I mean, the thing works, it just looks a bit awkward. But yeah, I outfitted a lot of my wreckers and other recovery vehicles to have at least some stuff on them. I haven't really been using them too much, but it's there for later at some point. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this one. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Until then, as always, have a good one, and bye bye.